Hey guys, Sen here. Barbarian Camp is one of the first districts you unlock in the clan capital, and it is known for being one of the hardest ones to attack. Even with all the balance changes we've had in the clan capital, with all the new troops, the new districts, everything, Barbarian Camp has stood atop as the district that I still see people fail the most, even among the top clans. So today, I'm going to be going through every single different level, which is something I don't normally do, playing at lower capital hall levels, to show you guys the different strategies that you can use to attack the space at every single level. But before we begin, I'm going to talk about our Discord server for the clan capital if you have not yet joined that already. We've got your standard chatting channels where you can talk about clan capital, Clash of Clans, and all things IRL. But above all, we have the District One Shot channel as well as the District One Shot discussion channel, and those contain all of the default one shots in the clan capital. They are almost always up to date. It's where all of them are created, and you can figure out how you can do all of the default one shots at every single capital hall level in every single district. And more recently, we even got the Capital Peak 2-Shot discussion channel where you can also find a ton of Internet Peak 2-Shots at Capital Hall level 10. So if you were wondering how you can take out, say, the double L from Itsu, we actually have 4 different plans on how you can go about that base that are right in the pinned messages. And even more recently, we have developed an ELO system on our server where you can 1v1 other top players in the clan capital and try to test your skills. I'm also participating in the 1v1, so if you want to try matching up against me or you're curious, make sure you join the Discord server. Link is in the description below. I hope to see you all there. At Capital Hall level 7 and below for Barbarian Camp, we are going back to the good old rocket balloon zap attack. It's still the best strategy for low levels when you don't have Graveyard unlocked, which unlocks at CH8. At Capital Hall level 5, my zap is very, very weak. 325 damage and only 4 in the camps, meaning I can't really zap down even a single air defense in a single attack. And so instead, I'm going to go after this middle air bombs over the course of 2 attacks, and we can zap this thing down. It's super hard to get to with rocket balloons, so much high HP around it, and it's also splash, meaning it takes down a ton of balloons at once. In general, though, you want to be zapping down air defenses that are deeper inside the base that you can't reach easily with balloons, but really, all of the air defenses in this case are pretty close to the outside. We just need to use some trash clearing troops to open up the map for deployment and get a better angle on all of those air defenses on the backside. But let's just go in with the rocket balloon zap attack. So heading on in, my balloons aren't even max for this level. I had to manually level up the lightning spell factory to at least get level 2 lightning spells over here. So the struggle is real at low levels. You do want to max out your offense before you go in for your defenses, but we'll start off with our zap spells in the middle so we don't have to worry about that later. Then we'll target the defenses or the air targeting defenses on the outside, so some spear throwers, some air defenses with our rocket balloons. Don't spam them all in. You want to target your loons in to make sure that they go after the defenses you want to take down. So starting off, spear throwers on the flanks, then an air defense, 2 on the middle air defense because I don't think we can get an angle on that anyways, and then 2 on the air bombs while it's distracted. Air bombs actually one-shot your balloons at this level, which is super nasty, but we were able to take that one out. We used our minions in behind to try to take out the trash, to take out those giants, and they're going to work their way around, and we'll get an angle on the right side spear thrower, I think, after those minions start clearing those trash buildings with those minions down south. We're going to clear a ton of giants, but just like that, we've cleared the entire bottom side, a ton of air defenses. The air bombs is now softened up for the second attack to go in. We'll protect those remaining minions, try to grab maybe a couple more buildings, and take out another spear thrower, but we'll be able to take out the rest of the base super easily on the next hit. If you can imagine, there's not many air defenses left, and we have an angle on the remaining 2 air defenses with our rocket balloons. As you can see, the map has fully opened up, and we can just target the rest that is left. And going straight back in, like I said, we're just going to zap down the middle air bombs. Air defenses that are hard to get to in the middle of the base, those are your priority targets. Usually not air bombs because they have a lot of HP, but because I'm at low level anyways, my zaps are so useless we can't even zap down air defenses. Now we'll target the rest of the remaining air defenses, those spear throwers, those air defenses, and we brought a couple minions to help speed up the cleanup. Or actually, we weren't even able to take out that air defense earlier, but now we can with 1 more pack of rocket balloons. And just like that, a ton of swag in the camps that we didn't even need. And I think normally Capital Hall level 5 might have the rocket artillery, but in this case it wasn't rebuilt, so even easier for me. Yeah, at low levels it's not too difficult, but especially at Capital Hall level 7, That is infamous for being the hardest capital hall level, and Barbarian Camp is definitely the hardest base there because it's so over leveled and all your troops are super weak. But at lower levels, it's still easier to do. I do feel for you Capital Hall 7 players where you have a ton of swag, a ton of balloons left, and a ton of bonus gold. So once you arrive at Capital Hall level 8, you unlock the Graveyard spell, and now you can use Graveyard against Barbarian Camp. Now this one is a completely max District Hall level 4 Barb Camp. It's extremely hard at this level. I think everything here is level 4, but we're going to use the Graveyards to try to tank all those air defenses, especially those air splash defenses, so we can push them with our rocket balloons and we don't have to use zaps anymore. And so now we are going in. Starting off, as usual, you want to clear the trash around the base, open up the map for deployment. Now, I decide that I want to go in from the left-hand side where I see the District Hall level 4 ruins with the air bombs and some exposed air defenses. Also, a lot of the air defenses are more concentrated towards the left-hand side. You can see towards the right-hand side, I have to get through a lot of cannons, a lot of giant cannons, bomb towers. That's going to be really annoying to try to reach the air defenses. So the left-hand side and going around the entire flank is going to be ideal in this case. So use the barb to try to chip through those left-hand side buildings, and then we'll use another barb to clear the last two little huts as this first barb sort of wraps its way and hooks his way in towards the barracks. So give all the time in the world you need because rocket balloons is a pretty fast attack, especially on the first hit, so you have plenty of time to just try to work your way around the base. So once the map fully gets opened up, we'll let those barbarians die. We don't want to have ground graveyard skeletons because if you have ground troops die, you instead get ground graveyard Larrys, which are not good for distracting for your rocket balloons. And so once the barb goes down, I guess we don't have to wait for that other barb, but we can drop our graveyards now away from the middle air bombs and rocket artillery, these first two graveyards, and so then we can tank for those air defenses on our rocket balloons approach, then split a pack of minions. Oh, I guess the barb died anyways while I was talking, but we'll split a pack of minions to distract for that air bombs, and then we'll send in a bunch of rocket balloons to try to take that out and get our graveyard spells going. So now we'll do minions, and then 2 rocket balloons, and then 3 rocket balloons to try to blast through the giant cannon and work our way inside towards the rapid rocket. And those graveyards are going to do a great job at distracting from my balloons as they slowly push their way through. And then once the map opens up, we'll also use a ram deeper inside the base, and now we'll distract for the rocket artillery deeper inside the base, and then try to push our way as far as we can towards that. So slowly but surely, that graveyard is going to do a good job at distracting for the air bombs and the rocket artillery, and we'll have one more pack of balloons to try to see if we can grab another air defense maybe. So then we'll use our minion to tank for the defenses, and then maybe I'll go for the air bombs, a barb to tank the rocket artillery, like this, rocket balloon, and try to snipe. I was trying to go for the air bombs, but I didn't quite get the angle, but we have pushed our way pretty far into the base. A lot of the air defenses are now exposed, and the power of Graveyard is that you have the graveyards for the second hit. So we are ready to go. We have a ton of minions, some to help distract and some to try to help a little bit with cleanup. The Larrys are actually pretty good from the graveyards at cleaning up as well, but we'll have our first graveyard down to try to hopefully distract this air bombs back here. And then I'll drop down a second graveyard to continuously tank for the left, right side air defenses probably. Or I can use it to try, okay, yeah. So we'll do it like graveyard here, graveyard on the bottom side air defense, so we can collapse that in immediately afterwards. 2 sets of minions to try to distract all those air defenses, and then 2 rocket balloons try to chip through that, those air splash defenses. Split some minions to try to open up the map for deployment. And now 1 rocket balloon to take out that next air defense. And once the air bombs gets exposed, we'll help support with some more balloons. Now collapse those rapid rockets once they get exposed as well. We have 4 more packs of rocket balloons. Snipe the Tesla over there. And we'll use 1 more pack of minions to try to open up the map for deployment. Those minions are going to finish off the cannon, so then we can directly target the rapid rocket. 1 balloon on top of that air defense, 1 on top of this rapid rocket, and we are looking solid. We can save it onto our last balloon, and just like that, this was a completely maxed out level 4 barb camp at CH8. These used to be almost impossible to do, but now with Graveyard Rocket Balloon, you can even take down bases like these as long as you just use those graveyards to tank for your balloons on those approach. Those splash defenses couldn't do anything to those balloons, and we'll drop down our last balloon to just try to speed up some cleanup, I guess, on top of this last little barrack over here. And just like that, we are going to get a huge finish against this Barbarian camp. At Capital Hall level 9, you unlock Goblin Mines, which means you get the haste spell, and suddenly Golem finally becomes a very good troop, especially against Barbarian camps, which are very open and very spread out, where there's not enough concentrated DPS to ever really kill a Mountain Golem. In this case, I'm not really sure what this defender is doing with the base. A lot of the defenses are kind of just thrown around randomly, but we'll just go after this with the Golem. If you're not comfortable with Rocket Balloons, because Rocket Balloons can definitely be a very hard attack, Golem is the way to go. Now, usually the best support troops with Golem is Hog Riders, usually a couple barbs to help funnel, and maybe some rams if you want to open up some walls later on in the attack. But Golem can just rip through walls. You bring a haste spell and you bring a frost spell. At Capital Hall level 9, he's noticeably worse. When you only have the level 2 haste spell, the speed difference is quite vast from the level 4 haste, but it's fine. You'll just make do with what we have. Especially because this is not, like I said, a very good base. Haste spell leading in, send in the Golem inside the haste spell, and he'll be permanently hasted up for the rest of the attack. We'll use a ram to tank for the Tesla as well as the Spear Thrower once the Rocket Artillery is distracted, so we can save a little bit of HP on top of that Mountain Golem. Also one-shot the Rocket Artillery that way. We'll use the Freeze or Frost spell once we're approaching more single target damage. I think I can freeze both multi-type cannons with the level 4 Frost. Yes, I can. This one actually got pretty close. Oh dang, that Frost spell got real close. And we'll use a Barb to help funnel a little bit. Some Hog Riders, like I said, are good for collapsing the flanks. So this cannon, the Golem, is never going to reach that thing, so we'll use the Hog Rider to take that out. And the Hog Riders on the left are grabbing the other cannon that's frosted up, and the Golem goes straight up the middle. You want to take out the flanking damage because that's what really kills the Golem. Those Giants were really pesky. They didn't stand on top of each other, meaning the Golem couldn't splash them both down. But those Hog Riders are still alive, getting so much value. Also going to grab the Spear Thrower, also going to grab the Bomb Tower. And you can see why the Hog Riders are such a powerful support troop. And the Golem will take out that multi-cannon without it ever shooting at him. Once I get to the Giant Cannon, we'll do a Barb on top of this Rapid Rocket, Hog Rider on top of this multi-cannon, and then a Barb to tank the Rocket Artillery. And so we can take out that multi-cannon without it ever getting to hit my Golem. And now we have one more Ram. I don't know what I want to do with that Ram. There's really nothing to do with it. I guess we can tank the Rocket Artillery a little bit for maybe a couple shots as our Golem works his way inside. Perfect, we tank actually 2 shots, so very nice ram over there. But the Golem, you can see he's just been walking his way through the base. Still got a little bit of health on him. A lot of defenses are now firing on him, so he's about to die, but he's gotten 50%. We have the haste spell down, and we can just bring 2 more frost, another Golem, and this base is going to be cooked. And now we can just easily finish off with a Golem. The nice thing with the Golem attack is you have the haste spell down, meaning you have an even more powerful second hit with double frost, and it's also really good for bonus gold as always. We'll use the frost spell where we see a lot of single target damage. Multi-cannons on top of Barb camps are some of the highest single target damage in the game, so we'll do frost on both of the multi-cannons and some cannons and spear throwers. Send in the Golem, so we don't have to worry about time, and then we'll use another frost on the backside cannons as well as rocket artillery over here. And at this point, we see that there's a flanking cannon, so once the Golem gets in range, maybe we use a Hog, or I think we can actually probably save the Hog Rider if the Golem walks straight towards it. And we'll just save the Hog Rider, or we have to use it anyways, because the Giants will tank or distract the Golem for a very long time. So, a bit of a bad call by me, but not too big of a deal. We'll also grab the Bomb Tower on the side. And those Giants on the left-hand side are actually stuck behind the fence because it's not open. The Hog Riders also are able to absorb some more damage from the multi-cannon. Hog Rider on top of... Crap, that's not a Hog Rider. The Super Dragon was for the left-hand side where there's no air defenses, but I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. It's fine. We didn't need that Super Dragon anyways. Okay, so we're going to grab the air defense. The Super Dragon is going to stay alive. And he's going to be chilling over there, setting the funnel as we originally intended, of course. That's like minus 120 bonus skill, but it's okay. Golem's gonna finish off the left-hand side. Dragon's gonna finish off the air bombs, the biggest threat to the Golem, and the Golem at this point, he has 60% HP. The rest of the base is frosted, and because it's so spread out, there's not enough damage to ever really get through all of that HP. You can force quit out of the app if you really want from here. You're pretty safe to just not even use that last Barbarian, but we'll just fast forward from here as Golem finishes off the last couple of the buildings. And finally, once you reach Capital Hall level 10 and you max out your Sparky from Goblin Mines, the level 4 Sparky is absolutely lethal against Barbarian camps like these, which are super compact. Golem never works when there's so much concentrated fire that can shoot down your Golem very quickly. Rocket Balloons can still work with the graveyards, but Sparky is definitely the way to go, and you will see why. Sparky Rage is the combination. We're not coming in with the Haste Graveyard, which I normally go in with the other districts, because the enemy giants are super annoying on the Barbarian camp. And the thing is, the haste spell is not going to be able to do much damage to those giants. Actually won't do any damage, but the rage spell allows your Sparky to actually one-shot the enemy giants, and you'll see how we do it. We're going to go in straight towards the enemy giants on the approach. We'll use the ramps to open up the walls, especially because there's no fences. These giants on the left-hand side are stuck behind the wall, so we'll open up the wall towards the left-hand giants as well. Then we'll use a giant on top of the Spirit Thrower, pull all of those giants in. Sparky now locks onto the Spear Thrower, and just like that, that rage spell, goodbye. 4 giants all at once. So rewind that if you have to. Use those rams to pull the giants in closer. Use a giant to try to hook the enemy giants on top of a defense, and then use the Sparky on top of that defense to absolutely rip through it all. And you can just take out so much of the base. The Sparky chains are insane here. Use rams to tank point defenses, and then try to use giants to tank splash defenses like rocket artilleries. In this case, we'll use a ton of rams because there's a lot of point defenses. Some bomb towers that we can use a giant to tank. Sparky's going to go towards the right-hand side with a second rage spell. On the Barbarian camp, Sparky one-shots everything besides the District Hall inside of a rage spell. That's why the rage spell is so powerful. Another huge Sparky chain taking out a cannon, taking out a Spirit Thrower. Sparky looks right, will take out a cannon with the help of the ram damage. Will also one-shot the Tesla, looks towards the air defense. When there's nothing attacking Sparky, you can just let her go and just do her own thing. But you can see Sparky takes a lot of practice. It's very easy to screw up, but once you get it right, it's so nasty. She's still in the raise spell. One-shots 2 mortars, a bomb tower, 1 last giant to tank the Spear Thrower, as well as Tesla, 1 more ram to get some barbarians, open up the wall, and tank all those point defenses. Sparky locks on top of the air bombs, will chip down the cannon in behind. Sparky is still going, 69% and counting. Air bombs will go down. We have a zap spell. A Sparky Chain, as well as a Lightning spell, will one-shot a level 4 multi-cannon as well. So we'll take that out, and oh my goodness, we're already at 9.1k on this very first attack. And Sparky still has some HP as she beats through the wall, going in towards those last few defenses. She'll lock on top of the Rapid Rocket, unfortunately get in range of the multi-cannon, get taken down, but she gets a ton of damage on those final few defenses left on the base. 9.4k capital gold in a single attack. You're never going to be able to one-shot a barb camp like this, but you can get pretty darn close. At this point, we're just going to come in with a Golem, a haste spell, freeze, and just force quit from here. Again, easy, plus 750, and don't sweat it. This base got cooked by Sparky, and let me tell you, if you practice Sparky Rage enough, you can take out almost every single barb camp in the raid weekend. It's so powerful because a lot of them are super compact like this, and Sparky does not care about your max walls, does not care about your max defenses. She'll one-shot everything and destroy a barb camp just like that. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed today's guide on the Barbarian camp. Tomorrow, around midday EST, I should be streaming Clan Capital, my own solo clan. I have a pretty good clan lined up, ready to attack, and I'll give any updates on our Discord server, so join that, of course, if you have not yet already. But like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video, and take care.